This is GWEN Talks Radio, where intimate conversations reveal, heal, inspire, and entertain. And now, here's your host, Tess Cacciatore.
Okay, here we go. This is GWEN Talks Radio, and this is your host, Tess Cacciatore. I typically do my show on Wednesdays, but this day was so important to me that I decided that I was going to move it one day to International Women's Day. Today is March 8th, 2018. So what it means to me about being in this world with other women, with Global Women's Empowerment Network and all of our collaboration partners, it's about supporting one another. It's about unity. It's about mentorship and equality. So I had an amazing, full-on, incredibly crazy week. And it's been a roller coaster ride. It's one of those days where you have to say, put your hands and feet inside the ride at all times, because you never know what's going to happen. So just a few minutes before the show started, Summer Rona was here. And we started this project a year ago on International Women's Day. And we shot this video of one of her songs, Slingshot, over the summer down in Skid Row with amazing goddess women. And we had the little mini-me's of all these characters in this video. And we finally just had re-edited and re-edited and re-edited, because it's all about just keeping unveiling and being committed to the process of creativity and being able to be open to co-create in ways that are difficult at times and beautiful and loving at times. And you just have to embrace and go through that process. So we're going to be launching that video later today on International Women's Day, come heck or high water, because there's been a lot of technology issues that have been happening over here. So I'm giving a shout out to Summer Rona as she's running to the next place to get the video up and running. So we'll be sending out a shout out and a tag for that. One of the things that we're working on right now is Women Illuminated Film Festival, which is opening on the first day of the Commission on the Status of Women. And this has been an amazing collaboration as well with Sheva Carr and Christina Escobar. And the three of us co-founded this festival, and it became this very organic, full-fledged, full day of women and celebrating the storytelling and celebrating the creativity that all of these women in this day have brought to the table. And we're going to talk to one of the people that is very special in my life in a little bit, Andrea Bucko. So we're going to be bringing her on, talking about her projects and her producing partner as well. But I thought when I sat down today thinking about International Women's Day, I wondered, when did International Women's Day begin? I've been celebrating it for years, and I've been going to the Commission on the Status of Women for, 10 years, anywhere from speaking there at the UN to being media accredited, just being either in Geneva or London or New York in this amazing festival that happens during this month of March. And I started thinking, I don't know if I ever really sat down and figured out when did it start. And I was really happy to see it started in 1909. It was the first International Women's Day. It wasn't on March 8th. It was another day. But it was really about honoring the garment workers' strike of New York, where women protested against their working conditions. And I thought, wow, that is pretty darn cool for that to happen back then. And throughout the days, the International Women's Day has grown throughout the world to honor the movement of women's rights and to build support for gender equality. And it has become the mechanism for protesting World War I back in the day as part of the peace movement. So when International Women's Day first became March 8th was back in 1975. And going throughout the years, it's been a remarkable journey to watch the passion and commitment that women have had to stand up and rise and come together, but also the support of the men. It's been so moving to be able to be in this line of work with these amazing people that are coming together from both sides of the fence, from all sides of gender, from all sides of nationalities, to be able to really have this commitment to make the world a better place. So here we are, 2018. It's the 62nd session of the Commission on the Status of Women. And we are going there. I'm flying on a red-eye tonight to go there to prepare for this film festival and a panel that we have in Pathways to Peace, Operation Big Sister, the Representation Project. It goes on and on and on. So if you wanted to find out more about our festival, you can check us out at globalwomen'sempowermentnetwork.org. You can find out about the festival. You can get a ticket to come and join us. There's going to be an amazing array of filmmakers. And now I get to talk about one of my favorite people in my life right now. Andrea Bucko is going to come with us after the break, but we're going to talk about mentorship. We're going to talk about the importance. No matter how old you are, you can mentor someone who's older than you. You can mentor a child. The child can mentor an older person. It's really about coming together and having the collaboration process. I didn't have a mentor when I was Andrea and Narina's age, so I'm just so honored to have both of them on our show today to be able to talk about all that's going on in their lives. Wait till you hear what these mover shaker young women are doing. And then we're going to talk about the projects and what we can do to make the world a better place. So right after the break, we're going to talk to one of my GWEN sisters, Andrea Bucko. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm David Longoria. My new song, Playground, features the talented and lovely Miss Dallas Lovato, singing along with me, and of course my trumpet. Playground is heating up dance floors across America now. Check it out. If you're on Spotify, follow me and my fun playlist, David's Playground. During this entire month, we are donating the profits from Playground to the charity We Are One, lifting kids and helping victims traumatized in Las Vegas, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Texas, and Florida. Let's do some good in our world as we dance to the music. Remember, that's Playground, David Longoria featuring Dallas Lovato. Not just for kids. Playground is available now on iTunes, Amazon, and wherever you love to get your music.
So welcome back to GWEN Talks Radio. This is your host, Tess Cacciatore, and I want to take this time to thank the sponsors and advertisers of the show. If you have an event, a book, a festival that's coming up, like-minded, anything, a music release party or whatever, we want to be able to support you, so please get in touch with us, and we'd love to be able to find out what you're doing. So here comes my favorite part, is just introducing these delicious, amazing guests that I find on a weekly basis. And this young woman came into my life not too long ago, but I feel like I've known her forever. She was introduced to me through a mutual friend, Mark Laisure. Shout out to you. You know, he's a dear, dear friend, Life Changes Show. He's the announcer of GWEN Talks Radio. Love him and his son, Jet, and I can do a whole show on him and the Life Changes Show. But Andrea came to me through him, and he said, there's this woman that came from Canada that you need to meet. And we got on the phone, and I was sitting in the parking lot waiting to go into this event. And I just was so mesmerized by the conversation, because I felt like there was a mirror in front of me, because we both had this passion about life changes and life stories and the importance of telling the story. And she has this beautiful project called Bloom. And so I just want to welcome to the show, Andrea, and say hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on the show, and this is just such an exciting time for everyone.
Oh my gosh. And we've been in the trenches. We've had some dirt kicked on us and waves. We'll talk about the waves that you all had to endure last week, but we just keep getting back up and knowing that it's such a beautiful process. We're going to talk about all the projects, but I want to talk about you coming to LA and what brought you here. I know you're an actress and producer, but tell our listeners what brought you to LA and your journey that made you stay here.
Absolutely. So, man, my journey's been so crazy. It's just so crazy to think about the fact that I came to Los Angeles exactly a year and a half ago. And I honestly came to this point where I was in Vancouver, BC, Canada, which is a fantastic place. They call it Hollywood North. for a reason, because there's so much production going on down there. But I came to a place where I just felt like I wanted more. I wanted to be in Los Angeles, where, you know, the dreamers are dreamers. I mean, we dream very big out here, but everybody has such big dreams and goals, and so there's no shame in reaching for the stars. And I felt like being in Vancouver, having these big dreams, I felt very limited by like the energy there for some reason. And my heart always told me I needed to be in LA. And my mother actually moved to Oregon when I was 15. And I stayed in Canada with my dad because I was at the time a professional tennis player, or competitive tennis player. I was playing on a national level.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So my journey started in sports, but then I always knew I wanted to be an artist, and more than that, I wanted to be a creator. And so my mom always told me, you know, ever since you've been little, you've been talking about Los Angeles and moving there. And so her and I went back and forth, and finally just one morning, I just had this gut feeling that I needed to do it. And I remember the morning, I literally just packed up my entire apartment as much as I could into my SUV, and I got in my car, and I'm not even kidding, like with no plan really, other than, you know, the $20,000 I had that I took out of my savings, and all the clothes and all the stuff I had in my car. I drove across the border, and I stopped in Oregon, said hi to my mom, and then kept driving. And a year and a half later, I now have an O1 visa. I'm a producer, I'm a writer. I have an incredible partner, Narina, who's going to be on the show with us later today. And we just finished our first short film on female empowerment called Bloom. And I mean, dreams do come true, and anything is possible. And I lived in my car for the first 2 months.
I know, you told me that last night, and I was like, oh my gosh. And you showered at the gym, and you know, you hear stories of that. And of course, everyone on the, you know, those listeners know that I was homeless for 17 months, but I never had to live in my car. So good on you for that.
Well, saying that, you know, of course I was couch surfing and stuff like that. So it's not like I was in my car the entire time, but there were nights where between people I was meeting, I didn't have anywhere to go, and I would just park in really cute streets in Venice because I felt like home. Vancouver, BC gives me that feeling by the ocean. I really connected with Venice, so I would just like find these really cozy streets and just make myself a nice little bed. And I would, so I mean, looking back on that, it's just so crazy, but I knew I had to be there. And it's really crazy because a lot of people were saying, like, how are you going to do it? Like, how are you going down there without a visa? Like, how is that even possible? And, you know, I have worked in TV and film in Vancouver, but I never really broke through. So the odds of me getting a visa was even harder. But when I came down here, all the stars aligned. I met the right people. I had incredible producers, and one of them, Nicholas Chartier, who produced Hurt Locker and Dallas Buyers Club, a 2-time Oscar-winning producer. You know, he supported me and wrote me reference letters and gave me a deal memo. And another dear friend now, Nick Rasslin, who did Queen of the Desert with Nicole Kidman and Rescue Dawn with Werner Herzog and Silence of the Lambs. I've just had these incredible mentors, and believe it or not, they were men. So, you know, going more into what's happening right now in the world with the Me Too movement and everything, and us actually building this beautiful platform of female empowerment, and me choosing to write this short film on female empowerment, I still do believe that there is a place where men and women need to just, you know, come together and work together. And I know you're Gwen with the men. So when I met you and we had that discussion, I felt really connected to you because I have had some incredible male mentors in my life. I've also had, you know, I've also had the opposite of that. And I don't know if we want to get into that right now, but I've had both ends of the spectrum. So it's just very interesting, you know, time to talk about all of this because
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that you had the positive side of it as well. And if you want to dig, we can go there, and we can have you back on another show as well to go there. Whatever you want to do, because this is your time to share your story and the whole process of revealing to heal.
Absolutely. Well, I'll just quickly, I'll make it really, I won't draw it out, but, I was bullied immensely as a teenager, and it was all men that bullied me. And I can remember their faces and their names. It was such a traumatic time. And it was that time where you're growing from a girl into a woman. And it was physical stuff. Like, they would bully me about being flat chested because I was an athlete and I didn't really hit puberty till I was like 14, 15. And then stuff about my weight because I fluctuated. I was really skinny at one point, and then I became very curvy. And then, so it was a lot of stuff to do with my weight and my body and body image stuff. But, and then also physical abuse. And, I don't want to talk about who that person was, but it was a very close person in my life. And I was physically abused for about 4 or 5 years. And these things were very hard experiences to go through, because I do think men are amazing. And so I just, instead of letting those experiences shatter me, I just moved through them, and I found a way to just find light in all my situations. And I feel like it really made me grow as a person, and honestly made me so much stronger. And so now, like, being in Los Angeles and meeting all these new male mentors, it's like kind of full circle, like you go through the darkness and then you find the light. And I don't know. I think that men can still be really great role models and mentors. And I do believe that there is a place for us to work together and grow together and shine together. And so I don't know.
I love that. No, it's so true, because
if any of that made sense.
All of it made sense and more, because I thank you so much for being vulnerable to share that, because it's not easy. And I think that stories that we can share really inspire other people to be able to reveal to heal. It's, our whole thing. I want to talk about bloom and bloom boldly, because that has the whole healing effect. It's how did you bloom so boldly, and talk about the storyline of that beautiful short film that I can't wait. It's one of the short films that we're premiering at the Women Illuminated Film Festival in New York this coming Monday, March 12th. So tell us about the concept and how you came up with it, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So you know what? It was really interesting. I just started thinking about this platform that I wanted to create. And I've always been really connected to flowers. And when I think of a flower, I think of a woman. I think of how, if you nurture a flower, it just blossoms so beautifully. But if you're not delicate with it and you're not nurturing it, a flower is so delicate, it can be crushed so easily. And so I read this quote, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard before. And the quote is, "The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all." And that's from Mulan, which is also one of my favorite Disney characters. And when I read that quote, I just started thinking about this platform and what do I want to be? What does my production company want to be called? I really want a charity one day. I want to create a film, and all of it kind of blended into this concept of bloom boldly. And so our Instagram handle is Bloom Boldly Official, and my production company is Bloom Boldly Productions. And our first short film is Bloom. And
a lot of blooming things going on.
a lot of blooming things going on. And I'll tell you the concept quickly of Bloom, which is and Narina, who's incredible. She's my partner, and she was a big part of this and helped me think of all of this. And she came up with this beautiful concept. And Bloom is a haunting and beautiful story of rebirth in a time when gender roles and personal identity has been thrust into limelight. Beginning with the lifeless bodies of 10 women washed up on a deserted shore, the film takes its viewers on a visceral experience that acknowledges the dark, buried realities of our past and imagines an awakened new future, one that is united, empowered, and set free. And, how do we move past the anger, the resentment, all of the hurt, and not let it take the best of you, but let you move on stronger, more empowered, and make you more humbled and an understanding person?
I love that. Well, I was part of the shoot and going down to Malibu and seeing just the whole team from GK doing the beautiful costumes and Johnny doing the direction and the crew and the goddess women that you brought together. I know there was one moment that I might have been in it, and I'm so glad that I got just to stay and witness and hold this space for you all, because you all were so amazing. For the listeners, you might think we're complaining on here because in California it's pretty warm compared to the rest of the country, but they were in the ocean with the icy cold waves splashing upon them, and it was so beautiful, the sand and the clouds and the birds and the flowers that you gathered to bring down part of the shoot. It was quite extraordinary. I can't wait to see it. We just got a peek at the movie poster that we're getting off to the printer today, and I'm hoping we get to see it before Monday, but I have a feeling they're going to be editing into the wee hours of every day. It might be the first time we see it is sitting in the theater on Monday, holding hands and screaming under the chairs and celebrating.
Exactly. Yes, very exciting. But
my gosh, it's going to be beautiful.
It was an incredible experience, especially being a writer and an actress and now a producer. Writing down your imagination and your vision and then seeing the words come to life in front of your eyes is the most rewarding experience I've ever had. And this is the first project of many more to come, but it was just so incredible and especially watching a team come together and all the pieces it takes to make something come to life. It's insane. It's a lot. Filmmaking is, the audience, when an audience is watching it on the screen, they don't realize what it takes to make that. It's just so incredible.
It is, and you did a wonderful job gathering a great team and finding this beautiful partner, which we're going to talk about and talk to in a few minutes. But it was amazing. It was very magical. You have a very blessed little magical thing about you, and because I've been producing since I was your age as well, and it's like watching this creation come to life. And I was like a proud mama standing on the side, just going, I'm so happy to be here and support any way I can, because you had everything buttoned down and it was great.
Absolutely. And we couldn't have done it without you, Tess. And honestly, your vision and your platform and the pieces you brought together for us. And, you're such a selfless soul. And it was incredible to have you. Yeah, we wouldn't. That's true. And you know what? You were the one that the whole reason that we chose to create Bloom was because of you. And we wouldn't be here without you, because you were the one that, told me about Women Illuminated. And that was what kind of created the energy to go ahead and bring Bloom to life. And so it's crazy. We start to finish, we did it in less than 4 weeks, which is insane. From the paper on the words to, the edit will be finished right in time for the screening on Monday. So
literally we'll be rushing in behind the curtains and handing it off to the tech booth. That was so amazing. I can't move forward, because I want to spend a lot of time with Narina and you together, but I want to talk about the PSA. So we filmed that at my house the other day. Little Hudson Toppenberg. Oh my gosh, big shout out to you. I wanted to have her on the show today, but she had some things to do. She's going to be at the UN with me for the second year with her beautiful mom, Erin Toppenberg's part of Water Bears, and she does amazing work in the world, and their family is incredible. And Hudson has my heart. She is so powerful and magical, and she had such a great time meeting you and being your mini me. So let's talk about the PSA, and that was put together very quickly as well. And that was an amazing experience.
Yeah, absolutely. The PSA that's a whole other topic, which is very also dear to my heart. I recently have discovered the true reality of human trafficking and how serious the problem is, and the things I want to be involved in, and the content I want to produce is conscious, which is what we'll dive into deeper later. But we had the opportunity to be a part of something called CNN Freedom Day, and that is a day dedicated to human trafficking and human slavery. And the person that puts this on every year, his name is Tony Sheena, and I submitted to him my vision, and so we had to put together a 1 to 2 minute PSA. And on the 14th, they're going to announce the winner, and the winner of this is going to have global exposure on CNN. And it's pretty incredible because it's all young filmmakers from around the world who have the opportunity to write, direct, and produce a PSA on human slavery. So I saw the opportunity and took it and called you and brought you on board with me, and we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was very powerful, and I don't want to share any more of it because I think it's going to, do great, if not completely win, because your vision of it was wonderful, and we'll be able to share the links through social media. And it was a joy working with you and the crew that you brought together for that as well. So I am so excited to bring Narina in, and we have to take a quick break so we can give a space to have our featured sponsors and partners have a little say in the matter. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Narina Jabari. And I have to say, the two of you together just rock my world. So anyway, we'll be right back.
GWEN Talks Radio is a division of GWEN.live, an entertainment platform for accelerating social good, featuring films, series, books, music, and radio from around the world to bridge cultures and connect us all. We want to hear from you, create with you, activate with you, and work together in unison for a better world. Join the GWEN movement. Go to GWEN.live today.
Okay, so welcome back to GWEN Talks Radio. This is your host, Tess Cacciatore, and I have Andrea Bucko on the show with me, and I am so excited. When I met this young woman, I thought Andrea was the cat's meow, and then there's another little cat that comes into the corral, and what a powerhouse the two of them are. I'm so impressed with both of you. Andrea, I'm just going to bring you on because I don't really know much about your background, except you're from Canada, which I love Canada, and you're also an actress-producer, but I just wanted to have you both on because you guys are rocking it and working the magic. Welcome to the show, Narina.
Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Tess. I know. I think I just met you in the middle of when we were getting Bloom off the ground. So we just dove right into that and didn't get a chance to really get to know our backgrounds and who we are and where we're from and things like that. But in a nutshell, I'm from Toronto, the other side of Canada. And also a writer, actress, producer with big dreams and everything that Andrea was also talking about, reaching for the stars and just going for it and trusting your gut, because we don't have, years and years and years of experience that maybe makes us more hesitant. So we're just throwing everything that we have into our passions and going for it and making films that matter to us in the way that we want to do it. And I'm so happy to have met Andrea, and in Los Angeles as well, which is this crazy pool of creative energy, and not only creative energy, but this business energy as well that makes all of these things happen that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, really. So I just moved here 2 months ago from Toronto, and right off the bat, me and Andrea started working together and just like quick fire started getting all of our projects off the ground and getting people excited about it, and just making, especially if you're a writer, all this stuff exists in your head, and just the release that you get from being able to make it into something physical that exists outside of yourself, at least for me, is the biggest driving force of why I chose to be in this industry in the first place.
Totally.
So yeah, anyways, that's
I can't believe you've only been here for 2 months. Go ahead, Andrea.
Yeah, I've visited before, but just for very short spurts. And then fell in love with it. I love the West Coast in general, and the weather, obviously, and the water, and just there's a much more balanced way of life here that I like, that I couldn't find back home.
How much did you like that water at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday when you had to be splashed with the waves?
By third day of shooting, I was into it. I was like, oh, I can get up at 4 a.m. every day and be in the water and see the sunrise, the most incredible sunrise in Malibu.
It was so beautiful. I'm not complaining. I felt so much empathy for all the people, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, must be kind of chilly down there. So, Andrea, just come on into the conversation, because, the two of you so symbiotic work so beautifully together. And the fact that this is a new partnership and there's so much trust with each other. And I think that's a really important thing to really point out, is that how do we develop our relationships with our girlfriends and our business partners?
Wow.
I'm in business with a lot of my friends, and some people go, you can't do business with your friends. I'm like, I don't want to do business if you're not my friend, because you have to have that bond. So talk about the two of you all.
Well, I love that you brought up trust. Narina, something that really bonded me and Narina was actually talking about past experiences of how trust was broken. And when you see me and Narina together, you can tell we're both very selfless and we give. And, there's givers in life and then there's takers in life. And sadly, that's the way it is. But both Narina and I have been through similar experiences in the past where we've been hurt and burned and trust has been broken. And so expressing these stories to each other and just sharing those experiences, we knew that we were kind of searching for the same partner. And there was just that immediate connection and that immediate trust, and our vision of content creation and the stories we want to tell were completely in alignment. And on top of that, it's honestly like salt and pepper. Like it's like you need a little salt, you need a little pepper. They're both completely different flavors, but together they're so incredible.
And you kind of are salt and pepper.
Literally. Yeah. And actually another thing to add about our incredible creative bond and our friendship and our partnership is we both have, our families are from, I mean, like my family is European, and Narina comes from a European background as well. And therefore we were raised in a very, very similar environment, and parents who, came from, my parents lived in communism and came to Canada and fought for everything they had and had to rebuild. And growing up as a child with that kind of upbringing, her and I had the same upbringing. And so we kind of know what it's like to come from nothing and fight for everything you have. And it's not like, parents were very supportive through passion and love, but it's not like we had,
So yeah, basically me too. Was born in Ukraine, same thing, communism, came to Canada. Andrea and I, both immigrants, both started, our families gave up pretty much everything to be here and to give us the opportunities to live in, the free world, where you can have every opportunity that you want. But the price of that is, especially if you come from extremely humble beginnings, is that no one really tells you is what it takes to actually follow your dreams and take those opportunities and create them for yourself. It's a lot of work, a lot. But I think why me and Andrea work well together is because we have these fundamental principles already aligned that we didn't really even need to talk to, like our outlook on money, on business, of why we understand that being able to even wake up every day and think about a career in the film industry is a privilege.
Totally.
Most of the world will never have that opportunity. So if we have that opportunity, we have to make something amazing out of it that can change the world in the tiniest, slightest way, so that maybe other people could have those doors opened for them, you know? So
I love it.
I think at its core, yeah.
Well, it is so amazing. It was such a pleasure to just jump into the deep end with you all and watch that magic happen, and the Bloom short that's coming out, and the PSA that I'm keeping my fingers crossed will win the contest and all that. What do you have on your slate for the next steps after the film festival?
I'll let Narina talk about this because this is just very, very exciting for us. But do you want to go ahead and
Sure. So when Andrea and I were talking about all of our projects that we individually are doing and have been working on for the last few years, again, we realized we both have a lot of essentially conscious content, meaning content that is based either in real stories or in real social issues, environmental issues, things like that kind of live beyond just entertainment and have an outreach component to them. And between us, we're like, wow, we actually have so many of these types of things that we're working on. And instead of each one being a separate kind of individual party to be produced, we're starting a conscious content film fund where we have a slate of all of these projects that we want to develop and produce out of one specific fund. So that's kind of our next steps that we're looking at. We have some people that we're meeting with that love the idea, and some of the amazing projects beyond Bloom. Bloom and the Women's Illuminated Festival is kind of a launch pad for this kind of conscious approach that we want to take to who we are as producers, and young producers in the industry really have to earn our dues a lot.
Absolutely.
Everything from kind of science and technology to women's empowerment to the refugee crisis to the environment crisis, real stories.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the real stories are what matters, and it's what I've been doing for decades as well. So I'm so proud of you both to just take the bull by the horns. Not that I want to take a bull by the horns. I don't know where these expressions come up with sometimes. I'm always so amazed that people, I don't know, just crazy. But to see you all just jumping in there and really just forging ahead. I can't wait to share your story and continue to do so through the programs that we're doing and through GWEN Talks Radio, and here to support you anyway. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? Oh, we want to do the charity spotlight. So Bloom is a nonprofit project under Global Women's Empowerment Network. So the charity spotlight for today on one aspect is for Andrea, is for Bloom. I want you all to go and support her all the way through and through. And Narina, do you have a nonprofit charity spotlight that you would like to just do a shout out to?
Oh, yeah, UNICEF that works with children around the world, especially those affected by civil wars and in all of the refugee camps around the world. They're doing some amazing work.
Wonderful. So let's tell people where they can find you, any last minute things you want to share, and then I want to talk about our music inspiration for the day. So Andrea, why don't you let people know where to find you and any last minute thoughts you have?
Absolutely. So you can find us on our Instagram platform. My personal platform is just at Andrea Bucko, and my nonprofit is Bloom Boldly Official, BLOOM Boldly BOLDLY Official Instagram. I also have Twitter, but honestly, I think Instagram right now is a really great platform for us to really start. You're going to be able to find all of our links and bios and all of that stuff on there. And, and then I just wanted to thank you so much, Tess, and thank GWEN for believing in us and giving us this incredible opportunity to be a part of a family and a sisterhood that teaches us that, dreams are possible, and speaking your voice is only empowering and helps us grow. And we should be confident in who we are, no matter what shape, size, color, ethnicity. Just embrace who you are, love who you are, share your story, and give your voice, because when you speak, it allows other people to understand that they're not alone, and we can all share our inner thoughts with each other and bloom boldly together.
We can bloom boldly and we can reveal to heal. The two of them just magically work together. And also, just to let everyone know, March 24th, not to forget, we're going to be launching the GWEN Media platform on Experience on Demand. So all of the programs that Andrea and Narina are working on, we have a distribution deal that can get up to 450 million subscribers through Roku,
That's
Apple
incredible.
TV, Samsung, Amazon Fire, and lots of other fun things that we're going to be report back in the near future. So, Narina, why don't you tell us where we can find you and any last minute thoughts you may have?
Oh, and one more thing. It's my birthday on March 11th, which is the day before Women Illuminated. So this is a
Happy
really, really
birthday!
special time.
Yay!
Special time for me. Yeah, I just wanted to just say that because, wow, March is just incredible. So,
oh my gosh, happy
I'll
birthday. That's right. We're going to celebrate in the city. Yay.
Yeah, and I'll pass it off to Narina now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
So, Narina, anything more you'd like to say?
So my Instagram. Yes. So you can find me at my production company called MOOG Media, MOOG. So we're just at moogmedia.ca. And my Instagram is at Narina J, NARINAJ, where I live, basically. So anyways, last thoughts, exactly what Andrea was saying, that we wouldn't be anywhere if it weren't for people who believed in us. Even if sometimes they didn't know what they were believing in, or thought we were crazy, or didn't know what we were doing, but they believed in our passion anyways. And that's just like, I'm just internally every single day grateful for people like that in our lives. And Tess, you're like the beacon of it, trailblazing as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so honored and blessed to know you both, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for you two and all of us together. So thank you both for being on the show. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and this music inspiration, I have to say, and Andrea, you know this song because it was just brought up in my house the other day when we were filming the PSA. Erin Toppenberg was here with her daughter Hudson, who played the younger version of Andrea in this PSA. And she said, well, I have this friend, Hana Kim, who has this song. And it took our breath away. And Andrea, I'm sure you would agree, this song is absolutely amazing. It's called Heaven Sees Me. And I'm just so honored to have this song. It's also part of the PSA. You're going to love this song. And you can look her up at Hana Kim Sings. Right after that, we're going to go into the Mind Over Matter Minute, where you have a minute just to relax. Take a minute every day, and maybe that minute will turn into something bigger and bigger and bigger, where you know that 24 hours a day you can give yourself self-love, self-care, self-empowerment, self-reliance. And remember, the world is much better with you in it. Until next time, be blessed.
Not a silent cause, calling all the sirens to hear me in the middle of a deep blue fog, calling out for someone to save me, reach beyond the four strong walls, pour a little light to my spirit, catch me right before I fall. Catch me right before I fall. Piece by piece, you bought and sold, trading me now in don't see me, and heaven sees me, but you don't see me.
And now, a Mind Over Matter Minute. Thank you for listening. Visit us at GWEN.live and join our GWEN community. Share what's on your mind.